Good morning, everyone. Well, yesterday we said it was a coin flip, and it flipped in one direction pretty hard. So now we got this wide range bar. Didn't reach support. No, the momentum stalled, and it was like, okay, which way is it going to go here? Further down toward this minor support, down to major support, the 50 MA. And now, after some jiggling around, it was pretty strong, steady move up. And one of the ways, besides just looking at the chart moving higher, um, in the time frame that you look at, the smaller you go in time frames, the more likely you're going to see swings, meaning pullbacks and pivots and so on. But look at that 15-minute chart. There isn't one pivot low. There isn't one pivot high. It just grind. And so for those who define a pivot, high pivot, a bar with three lower highs to the left and right, low pivot, a bar with three higher lows to left and right. So the software would have marked it if there was one, and there wasn't any. So that's one way of defining a very strong advance. Another way, technically, just looking at the chart, is that you'll see, other than the little continuation moves, that the candle ranges are about equal in size. So it's a very steady, systematic move in one direction. Yeah. I mentioned weekly, said down pre-market SPY. What a surprise. Well, so what, in addition to what I said, Don, was yes, you have a reversal on an extended move higher and a red bar, and that suggests lower. Now, the other part I said, will it correct sideways or will it correct down? And this bar is not done, right? Today's Tuesday. By the end of the week, this could be a topping tail bar. So we're always aware of how much time is left in the time frame that we're looking at. Like you see the 5-minute chart here, there's a minute left and it's clicking down to that 5-minute time frame. And it's relevant to the time frame you're looking at. So having a green bar Tuesday morning isn't meaningful other than, well, it did retrace almost to the top of that red bar. Now, where does it end? So we have, as part of our method of interpreting price action, it's to say the candle body, the difference between the open and close, should stay in the lower 50% of, in this case, a bearish wide range bar. And when we look at this bar, right, the open and close should stay in the upper 50%. Now we've got opposing time frames here. Right? This is extended and rolled over. It's still in an uptrend. This is in a sideways trend. So we'll see where this ends the week. And of course, by the end of today, we'll see where it ends the day. So as of right now, we're looking where the Qs are, and they're just eyeballing this just above maybe the 50% area of that wide range bar. So while it could dip down, let's just say this continues to go down and it hits 400, right? The whole number, and which is close to the top of these bars right here. And you can see the cursor on the 60-minute or the 15-minute chart. While that would be a deep retracement, it could end the day with the candle bodies in the upper half. And if it was to rally off of that. Now, I will say that, well, we don't know where this is going to open because there's still, 25 minutes to go. It could be back up here in 25 minutes. In any event, coming down that deep, it happens, but it shouldn't come that deep after a wide range bar. It would be a concern that it even got there. Whereas, let's say it opens up, give or take, I don't know, just for instance, a 402 would be okay. And then we'll just see if it consolidates, because that's typically what happens when you get a wide range bar, is you often get what we call a 1, 2, 3 or a consolidation, a narrow range day, as things get extended and prices consolidate that gain. And the idea of the body staying in the upper half, and if it's really strong, in the upper third, is where it's rebuilding or, making a support area after creating the void that it did. So it's not uncommon to have a consolidation day after a wide range day. And especially in this where it's not in an uptrend. Now it's in a sideways trend. So, we'll see how this unfolds. One of the comments yesterday was, does this turn into a head and shoulders top? We just don't know. We just know what is. And so we knew at this point momentum was stalling. It was close to an area of support. The downside, there could have been a little bit more, but buyers should have been willing to step up here. There was no significant news. I think someone mentioned that some Fed speaker said something that got the markets going. So the market's like a schizo, it reacts, it wants what it wants, lower interest rates, and the Fed to say we're done and that they're going to cut. So they're walking on eggshells in a way of, on every little murmur that comes out, bullishly or bearishly, it jumps. So right now it's just consolidating the gain, and we'll see day to day. But patterns like this, you don't have directional trades. You could have day trades. They tend to be good situations for put spreads, whereas you get a wide range bar, something's close to support, and if there's premium there, you can do a credit spread. Hopefully, that would expire by the end of this week. So, all right, spiders. Second here. Same story. And part of what we were, analyzing or saying, will the NASDAQ go down a little bit more and flip this up? Or will this, go down? That was yesterday. Will this go down towards support? The NASDAQ shows some relative strength, and then we get a turn. Well, what it did was it just made a turn and, rallied up. So now, does it form a head and shoulders? Does it make new all-time highs? And we'll see how things evolve today. Where are they at right now? Just above the 50% area, give or take, minor support, looking at the hourly chart of spiders. So, it's all good so far. We'll see how it unfolds. SPX, just see where the premium is here. Oh, wow, right on the whole number on the bottom side. So now that came up. Well, of course, it's going to come up a lot after yesterday. It's 4,700, which is at yesterday's low. I didn't move these, but move that over. I'll just delete it for now. The average ranges have expanded quite a bit after today, which they were. Well, now they're almost 47 points, the average range over 5 days after yesterday's move. And let's see what the upside is here. 47.70. But after yesterday, and without anything of significance happening, the downside should be fine. Right? There should be buyers after yesterday to buy the dip. Yes, Alex, 5-day average range. So in the S&P 500, not spiders, the 5-day average range right now is 47.24. So using that as a guide as to where, it shouldn't go theoretically, you see where the close is, it's not going to open there. See where it opens. And you can see yesterday's range was 64.72. And see that this shows the day before and the high and the low. Right. So just based on this coming down to that low, making a turn, looking at where there's enough premium to do a spread, is it reasonable to think this shouldn't go down here? Right. Where did Jake go? I don't know. I haven't Jake hasn't commented in the chat there on YouTube for a while. So people's lives change. I don't know. Maybe he put on too many contracts on a SPX credit spread one day and froze. I don't know. I'm speculating. You know, maybe he got tired of hearing my voice in the morning. I don't know. Yeah. So, all right. Peek at the futures. Then you can see the consolidation there. The open where it is right now. Consolidation day at a wide range bar. Does it become a head and shoulders? Does it become a resting day and then up to new highs into the news at the end of the week? We'll just see how it unfolds. Same story. Obviously, this came down to support, so we're showing relative weakness. It popped up nicely, 20 MA, subjective reference point, but it stopped there. Russell's down here a little bit. That was weaker, consolidating. Same story. Dow has been stronger. So far, just correcting sideways, whipping back and forth. So obviously showing relative strength. And after yesterday's bar, I think at almost any index that you looked at or futures contract, yesterday's low becomes a significant reference point not to violate. Shouldn't even go down there intraday, let alone close below it. Bitcoin had the big up day yesterday. We talked about the bullish price action that was occurring. I didn't say this was going to happen. All of a sudden, it exploded. And I heard on the news this morning that they're speculating that maybe this ETF that's been talked about might get approval today. So I guess that means money flow into Bitcoins. I guess we'll see. But that so far looks pretty bullish. Now with this red bar ignored and a bullish wide range bar, it's below 48,000. Pattern like that suggests it go through it. Should go through. Wednesday's the deadline. So it would be good if they said it today. We'll see what happens from there. Crude oil continues to be erratic, but bottoming. Yesterday was a down day. And just like we look, while this isn't an igniting type of a bearish wide range bar, it's a relatively wide range bar. And so this is in the lower half. We'll see if this closes green. But being down at this support area so far, it's just chopping around. And look, you want to be aware, set an alert on the futures if you have them, or just USO. Just need to be aware. It gapped down because the futures were down. Now it's gapping up, and it's just within a mess. So there's nothing to do. But it appears that it's bottoming. It's early, but you got to keep an eye on it. This got an upgrade today. Now, upgrade doesn't mean buy, but this isn't an area of support. So, oil stocks. We talked about the ETF downside shakeout, and that still could be in development mode, where it breaks down and 100% retracement up and consolidates. So keep an eye on some of these energy stocks and ETFs, whether they come back up into this congestion area here. Because if they do, and you can see it's in the middle of it right now. If they do, well, then they should go up from there. After a downside shakeout pattern on the right side develops, it should go up. So we're waiting. Interest rates continue to bottom out. Yesterday morning, we talked about them being at this resistance, at minor resistance. They were up there. As you can see, they went down. The markets loved it. Now it's up and in the middle of nowhere. And of course, the markets are, whoa, what's going on? They would have loved to have seen this breaking lower. And maybe eventually if new all-time highs, even marginal new all-time highs are in the cards, you want to keep an eye on this because if this does start breaking back down, say below 3.99, I think the markets will go up. The markets are, you know, kind of being held captive in a sense by interest rates. And I remember this from many years ago. It was the same. I don't remember what year it was, but at some time they decoupled and nobody cared anymore. We have this tendency to get caught up into what's working, of course, because it's working. But we have to realize that some of these things that are so closely correlated, I'm not saying it's going to be totally uncorrelated, because interest rates do have an effect on the equities, but it won't be as tight as it is now. All right, we always take a look at transports, which had a good day yesterday, but talked about the slowing momentum, the break in the uptrend, sideways trend. So, that's what's going on right now. The ETF, which some people usually ask, where is it? Yeah, IYT. You'll see that's already up at the top of the range because it's got more stocks. I think 50 stocks versus, I don't know why. Well, I guess it's an ETF, but in any event, you would think an ETF would track pretty much the major cash index, but it doesn't. You see it's at the top of the range. That's it. It looks like we're probably in for some consolidation day, choppy price action, which is normal after a day like yesterday. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Alex, why is there a deadline? It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, we got a ton of watch list items. We're pretty heavily long on that turn yesterday. Talking about Bitcoin though, look at coin. This is what we call a 4-bar turn buy setup. That looks great. Let me set an alarm at 160. And then this could be, there's so many stocks that are, nice reversal yesterday, and it's just an analysis of, all right, well, how much do I think they're going to retrace? Here. But I got a couple here. Well, here, let me start with earnings. And then I actually typed out a few. Sam I Am gave me a bunch that I liked. But yeah, well, when I first woke up and saw the market down, my immediate thought in my head before I looked at a chart was good. We're gonna get our measured move down now. and then I'm like, oh man, that's only a third gap. So, we need a lot more weakness here to play out, taking out yesterday's low. I'll take it day by day as always. All right, SNX. Earnings. Now, had this open flat, then this would have been one where, as I just said, one of the hundreds that you just play a bounce. But now it's giving down here. That's kind of like a measured move, a measurement, but with a gap. You see a measured move is it attempts to bounce, then fails, and you take the distance from here to here and project it down. And that's right where it is right now. So that'll be interesting to see what happens in the first 30 minutes here. Thomas, YouTube. Yeah, we've been watching J&J. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Yeah, weekly, I'd say 165 as first target. Sure. Yep, that's been on the list. Abbott, I know Alex bought that yesterday or added or whatever he did. Sure. Abbott's what I call Just getting on board a moving train that's strong. Back to earnings. Hey, is this earnings? No, earnings are up here. Neon. 18 bucks. That's getting whacked. We'll come back to you. MSM 91.50. This is what I call a potential gap and snap. What is a gap and snap? It's already down a lot far from the 20. Now you're giving me a big old gap down, and I have support to the left to boot. We say set up action. Set up meaning I have a bias. I have no idea what's going to happen. So I put it in a thumbnail here. Let me change it to 5 minutes and see what happens. But my bias is 30-minute high, sell a put spread, buy the stock for a bounce. This is a bull rectangle. The gap's too big though. Now, I always like telling you hypothetical. If it were gapping here, this would be a good gap. And we're going to be talking about gaps in MT Live in a week or two. And for tomorrow, maybe. Yeah, tomorrow's gaps. So hypothetically, if they were gapping up here to just say 207, I'd say buy a 5-minute high. That'd be a beautiful continuation from a bull rectangle, but it's gapping up too much. Yeah, ACI right here. Yeah, another bull rectangle. Trade's a lot sloppier, the up-down movement, but 30-minute high. CCS. Greg, I don't know if you remember this stock. It wasn't here. I gave this as a core short at $10 one time. I think it was over here somewhere. Look at that. I thought it was going to 0 back then. And now it still does. Looks horrible. Zoom Z. No pattern. We'll come back. Hey, Dodge, if the container store goes out of business, then I'm assuming you'll be with us full time, right? Because then you won't be doing those Tupperware parties anymore. Urban. It shows it up $2, but I don't see any volume. Trades like a mess. I don't like it. Jeffries 39.35. There's a bearish gap. Doug, here's a call spread for us. 10-minute low. I know, David. I usually don't start pre-market. Yeah, what's that in me? All right, ACCD. Here's a nice buy setup. Another one. I don't think it's going to make a new high, but the buy setup with a potent reversal. DHR. Now, this one's also bullish consolidation. I like that it's gapping down a little bit. I'm going to set the alarm at 235. Because then it has to negate the gap down to be strong. HPE 16, that's a bearish gap, another call spread idea. Juniper. Hey, this was in the weekend letter, you all. We are long calls. Here, I didn't post it to you all, but and hey, folks, here, this is a perfect example of why if you don't get our telegrams and you just rely on updates in here, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Because look, read, it's going to take you a minute to read all that if you're in the trade, you better read it. If you're not, it's still good education. So when it gapped up to here to 37.25 this morning, it has buyout, buyout stuff. I said, look, we'll try to get a pop. Maybe it rallies at 38, 39 in the morning, and we just sell a 15-minute climb up. But I also said, look, move stop under 37, even pre-market. So how, if I have long calls, Doug, and this option market ain't open, how do I protect my gain? Well, read. Exactly, short the stock. So we shorted the stock at 37 bucks. And look, we've, as of now, that's saved us 70 cents a share of our profit. So we're hedged, so we're in no hurry to do anything. Now, EXTR was a potential bottoming pattern. This would have been a great one had it gapped up to 18 bucks. Say daily, weekly. But now that's a nasty, nasty gap right now. Gapping under all these lows. Hey, Sam, I am met C up alarm. This was when we right on this day. It was an inside bar. That was such a beautiful trade right there. My up alarm just went off. We'll see. Microchip slopping around. Put spread idea, 30-minute high. Netflix is not earnings, but it got a downgrade. So just eyeball this. You can see it's gapping down like 80% into yesterday's bar. So nothing to do right now, but that's better. Uniform laying off another 25%. We tried doing a put spread on that yesterday, but we didn't get filled, so cancel it. YouTube Delta 20, Charlie India, a 1, 2, 3 setup. Well, it's technically not a 1, 2, 3 because it's a big old tail, and it's not from consolidation, and it's also near this weekly high, so it's not a quality one, Delta 20, but everyone knows how I love butts. I posted a couple of Sam's 1, 2, 3s. Let's go through Sam's list here. So hold on, Delta 20. I posted some and they're 1, 2, 3s. I want you to compare them. All right, these are all Sam's. Sam, you had a good list you sent me today. All right, so this is a bull rectangle, nothing to do yet, but it's on the list. Bull rectangle, ARMK. We should have been in this yesterday. BXP, bull rectangle, ESRT, over yesterday's high. I like MGM. See, 50% gap down now. Post, sloppier 1, 2, 3, but see how this one is an igniting bar and it's still in the upper 75%. So post, I like. RHP gap down, so nothing to do right now. SRC, I would love an inside bar. XHR, set an alarm yesterday's high. Zulu Golf, another buy setup. I would love a 1, 2, 3. NBCR, I was hoping for a 1, 2, 3, but it's a bottoming pattern, daily, weekly. TKO, we talked about. Alpha X-ray. Looks like it has a bearish gap down, so I'm just going to take that off the list. This one, Delta 20. This is a beautiful 1, 2, 3. It's an igniting closing breakout. We got red bar, we got green bar. Hopefully we'll get another inside bar. It's a breakout and 180 reversal on the weekly. Bullish price action at resistance. So that's a 1, 2, 3. This is a bear 1, 2, 3, 4. So I posted this you all both as a call spread and also long puts under all those lows. What? A sting, the gap's too big. Looks like a little toy. Struggle. See another one. Deep retracement. Don't expect a new high, but I don't like the gap down now. Bravo Romeo. Same. There's our coin. I got an alarm. But hold on, there was another 1, 2, 3 that I posted from Sam's list. Let me find it. Our ESRT was a breakout. Okay, here, Boxel. Look at this one. This is Sam's list, BXSL. Oh, okay, we did talk about that one. All right, so there you have it. I'm gonna go through my alarms now. LDOS. Alarm went off, but not doing anything. W Whiskey. Oh, low alarm went off. I was looking to add to this over these highs. Let me set new alarms. R Romeo. 56.50. R on my list. All right, set an alarm at yesterday's high. This is another buy setup and turn at the 20 MA. It's just light volume. This is the problem. Our Mets, hey, Mets C. So let's move put stop right here now. 2025. All right, we only have a third lot left. That looks great. I'm gonna set an alarm at 21, even though stuff's bigger. You know what? Yeah, let's make it tighter. Yeah, this thing's moving. Let's make a day's low 2088. Tosco up alarm.